Hey there, Sagittarius. How are you doing? I guess your other video didn't work out real well now, did it? Sorry about that. My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly video again because the other one had no sound after just like the first little bit. Sorry about that. Thank you to the person, Michelle Exquisite. Thank you for letting me know. Otherwise, I would not have known that. So let's try again, okay? That must not have been the right reading for y'all. Let's try a different one. Okay. So this one is going to be for July 14th through Thursday, July 17th. I'll be back on Wednesday to do bonus readings and to get you through your weekend, okay? Alrighty, let's see. This one's for my Sagittariuses, okay. All right, y'all, let's try to get this together here, okay? Okay, what are we starting with? We are starting today with the Nine of Cups. Maybe flip back, might make it, okay, yep, maybe. Nine of Cups. Then I've got the King of Cups, okay, and then I've got the Two of Pentacles. So this is your backstory or your recent past. Currently, I have you with Judgment, the Five of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. Okay, in the near future, I have you with the Ten of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. Okay, bottom of the deck for this reading is actually the Page of Cups. So the underlying current to this entire reading here has something to do with the Page of Cups. Page of Cups being somebody who is not quite grounded in reality a little bit. Like they have a great imagination, they're very creative, kind of in a fantasy land though, a little bit Delulu sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Not quite, they don't really have both feet planted firmly on the ground. However, they're quite happy and very creative, okay? Yeah, okay, so that's somehow the undercurrent here. The card I have at the center of your read is the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is all about inner conflict is how I usually view it. It can spill out so you can argue with other people because of all the conflict inside of you, but it's really something that's based inside of you. Okay, so we're going to see how these two play into this. Let's go. We'll start with the beginning. For me, that's the past. Let's see how'd this all come about. Okay, we have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups would be your wish fulfillment. King of Cups, so this is all about emotional stability or chaos. And then the Two of Pentacles. Okay, in your recent past, it definitely looks like you were having a very hard time maintaining any kind of balance. You felt as though you had zeroed in on what you wanted as far as wish fulfillment went. And it feels to me as though what you wanted for wish fulfillment was attached to another person, and together the two of you managed to cause complete emotional chaos for each other, is how I feel about this. Anyways, we couldn't change this if we wanted to. It's in the past. It's already happened, right? So, but however this has played out is definitely affecting the rest of this reading. All right, let's see where we've gone to now. Where are we at now? So now we have the current where I have Judgment, Five of Wands, Ace of Swords. So Judgment would be somebody calling judgment on somebody. It feels like possibly you are calling judgment on this person. For as crazy as this might sound, I feel like the person's calling judgment on you as well. So it feels like you guys are mirroring each other a little bit. I'm not saying everybody's justified in calling judgment. I'm just saying that's what they're doing, okay? The next card over is Five of Wands. There is a lot of inner conflict and turmoil about this situation in general. And the last one is the Ace of Swords. So this is the Sword of Truth. So the reason why you're calling judgment is obviously because of the Sword of Truth. Yeah. A lot of conflict here in general. Just chaotic is how it feels. Anyways, okay, so there's that. And then we still have this Page of Cups over here, so nothing's quite as grounded in reality as it needs to be. Everybody's got kind of unrealistic expectations and just not quite, like I said, not with both feet planted firmly on the ground is how this feels. Okay, let's go forward. Now we're going to the near future. Ten of Swords, Ace of Cups, Four of Pentacles. Wish fulfillment, Judgment, Ten of Swords. So what you thought was your wish fulfillment, you ended up calling judgment on it because there was a betrayal, it looks like. King of Cups, so I'm saying that's emotional chaos has caused inner conflict, and now there's an Ace of Cups. So there is a new opportunity in love, it looks like, coming towards you. I don't believe it's with the same person. This is somebody new, okay? It's not here yet either. It's coming in the future, but in the near future. Over here I have Two of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. So total imbalance. Then the truth came to bring balance, and now you're just afraid to let go. I don't think you're afraid to let go of this person. I feel like the person is probably pretty much long gone. This has more to do with you not wanting to let go of, it's not even the hurt. It's almost like you don't want to let go of your untrusting ways now. It's like you don't trust anybody when it comes to this kind of things, relationships or anything along those lines. And you don't want to let that go because it's safer to be in that stance. However, you can't really get into love unless you let that go. You have to have some sort of vulnerability, okay? I see why you're doing it. I'm just saying it's not necessarily the best way to do that. Okay, so what we have is you having a situation that went crazy. You guys are blaming each other, it looks like right now, and in the end, I definitely think that this dissipates completely because there's a new something coming in for you here. Okay, I've got Page of Cups. Behind that, I have the Lovers, and then I have the Ace of Pentacles. So it also looks like you have some sort of a new opportunity coming in when it comes to finance, or a new opportunity, maybe a new job, a new something attached to money. The Lovers card is still speaking about this whole deal with the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups, the unrealistic expectations that's attached to a love situation, which is whatever you had going on here. I know you think they're 100% to blame. I assure you they're telling people you're 100% to blame. You guys are probably closer to 50-50 than you realize. It just is what it is. But as long as you learned your lessons and grew from it, it was totally worth it, right? That's how that goes in the end. That's how I see it anyways. All right, what else we got? Okay, I've got the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and the Six of Cups. You had to walk away from this because it's just a karmic cycle. I mean, you don't have to. You could stay forever, I guess, if you want, but you're not going to grow any. This is just a karmic cycle, and it does say that you walked away with the Eight of Cups. So that's when you walk away from something you still have emotion for. With the Eight of Wands, this is all about communication, but I feel like there was a total lack of communication or effective communication in this dynamic. At this point, you might both have each other blocked. Six of Cups, you guys both have memories, okay, from the past here, but it's just not enough to sustain this union. It's just not. Sorry. Okay, what else I get? 3 more, and then I'll do days of the week. I've got the Four of Cups, the Moon, and the Ten of Wands, yeah. This relationship that we're speaking of here, up at the top here, this is what's got you conflicted. For some reason, you can't quite put this to bed. But you have to stop and just look at the facts versus being in the Page of Cups and looking at, some sort of fantasy. The facts are nobody was satisfied in this situation. Nobody, not on either side. There was a ton of secrecy. There was things done in the dark that needed to come to the light. And in the end, it became nothing more than a burden. It may have been a burden you were used to, so it felt comfortable. It was a comfortable burden, I guess, but it's still a burden. Okay, and you deserve more. So does the other person involved. Everybody deserves more than that. Okay, so that's what I see there. Monday, what do we got? Monday, you've got the Strength card and the Six of Swords. You definitely have the strength to steer your life out of all this chaos. But you have to make the choice to do it, okay? Tuesday, we have the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. So you are all up in your head as you try to decide where you want to invest your emotions, time, energy at this point. If anywhere, right? Okay, and then Wednesday, I have the Four of Swords, Ace of Wands. It looks like you're trying to get some rest and trying to recover, and then some kind of new inspiration comes towards you, which is a good thing. And then Thursday, I have the Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Pentacles. All of this, the whole thing, is the Wheel of Fortune spinning in your favor. I understand it does not always feel like it, but I assure you it is. There is a bigger plan at play here, okay? So, stay in your independence, which is what you're stepping into now. That's a good place to be. Just one foot in front of the other. It's going to be okay. All right? All right, y'all. I'm sorry about that video earlier. I hope this one makes up for it. I'll be back on Wednesday with the bonus readings. No matter what the cards say, go out and make it the best day you possibly can, right? And that's it. Thank you for everything, you guys. Take care.